we'll take a look at our upcoming races this morning. We're starting at 10 o'clock with the C1 men's 200 meter final. NPL, exciting race for Canada where Edouard Beaumier will be looking to capture a top 3 finish.
Yeah, certainly a great set of semifinals this morning coming our way. Top 3 in those races will be advancing to the A final. So again, at 10 we'll start with the C1 200, and then we'll have 1 K4 women semifinal, 2 men's K4 semifinals, some C2 semifinals as well, before we go into the K1 men 500 semifinals. And then we'll move into some of our paras, actually final Bs and final As. So from 11:15 to 11:52, we'll be crowning a lot of new world champions as well before we move on to some additional K2 and K1 semifinals. So stay tuned here for some exciting racing during the 11 to noon hour. And then we'll conclude the morning block from 12:30 to 1 with some C1 500 and K1000 semifinals.
Yes, and this afternoon we're looking forward to handing out some more medals. So get ready for that. Some of those para-athletes competing this morning will be receiving their medals this afternoon.
And we're just about to get underway here in the semifinal of the men's C1 200 meters. Top 3 will be heading directly to the final. The rest of the athletes will be eliminated. So we'll have in this race in lane 1 from the United States, lane 2 Canada, lane 3 Colombia, lane 4 Kazakhstan, lane 5 the Czech Republic, lane 6 Hungary, lane 7 Romania, lane 8 Japan, and then lane 9 Nigeria. So in lane 1, the B finalist from last year, the under 23 C1 1000 from the United States, Jonathan Grady. In lane 2, the 22-year-old first World Championships, Pan American Championships junior gold medalist from Canada, Edouard Beaumier. In lane 3, 11th in C1 200 in 2019 in Romania, and the under 23 World Championships from Colombia, Alejandro Ramirez. In lane 4, bronze in this event at the 2022 Asian Canoe Sprint Championships from Kazakhstan, Viktor Stepanov. In lane 5, the Tokyo Olympian in C2000 and double bronze medalist at the under 23 World Championships from the Czech Republic, Peter Fuchsa. In lane 6, silver in this event at the World Cup Regatta in Rečice back in May from Hungary, David Korzanski. In lane 7, gold medalist in the C2 500 from Romania, Oleg Nuta. In lane 8, representative at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics from Japan, Takanori Tome. And in lane 8 from Nigeria, Michael Moses.
Lane 6 forward and hold. Lane 2 forward. Ready, set.
And we have a start in this first semifinal of the day, the men's C1 200 meter. Top 3 advancing directly to the A final. Quick start here from athletes in the middle lane. David Korzanski from Hungary having a great start, but also Viktor Stepanov from Kazakhstan taking the lead early here as we're approaching the halfway point of this race. About 40 seconds here for these athletes to compete this race. Top 3 going directly to the A final. Looks to be about a 4-boat race as we're approaching the last 50 meters here. Close finish between all of these athletes as we're coming through the last few meters of this race. Hold on to your seats here as we're coming to the finish. It should be too close to call for those athletes moving on to the A final. Very, very close finish here, as you'd expect in this 200, but close field here. We'll have to wait for the official results to get a confirmation, but we'll wait for the slow motion finish to try to get a little bit more information. But great racing here from athletes in middle, but it does look like David Korzanski with that big lunge might have been doing just enough to take the win in this semifinal, so from Hungary.
Well, if you weren't awake already, you certainly are now. That was an exciting start to the day.
Great start here from all these athletes. You can see quickly that David Korzanski and Viktor Stepanov getting off to a great start. Edouard Beaumier, great start as well. He's known to start really quickly, but just falling off the pace at the midway point here. And then as we came to the finish, it does look like Hungary just timed his lunge extremely well, but for second, third, and fourth, so close. Someone's going to be heartbroken here, missing by just thousandths of a second likely as we're going to get our results here. But very, very close race between Viktor Stepanov, Peter Fuchsa, David Korzanski, and Oleg Nuta. So still waiting for confirmation of those results. As you'd expect, photo finish needed here to get the official results confirmed. So we'll know who advances to the A final and joining athletes who competed in the first race of these championships on Wednesday. The nice shots here of David Korzanski getting escorted back to the side, having tipped after doing that lunge that got him the victory. But David's a veteran of the Hungarian national team and world championship medalist in C4 and C2, so lots of experience here, and going into the C1 200, showing a lot of versatility, but great racing by him here in the semifinal. So we have about 10 minutes until the first semifinal in the K4s that will be coming your way. The women's K4 500 followed by the men's K4 500. But we do have our official results coming in here. Again, extremely close race. David Korzanski, Viktor Stepanov, and Peter Fuchsa from the Czech Republic moving on to the A final. Oleg Nuta just missing out from Romania. Canada's Edouard Beaumier coming in 6th place here in the C1 men's 200 meter semifinal. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes here to introduce the crews for these K4 semifinals. Stay tuned for some more exciting racing from Lake Banook this morning here at Canoe 22.
Next up, we have a semifinal in the women's K4 500. And ahead of that, we'd like to thank our platinum partner, Nova Scotia Gaming Corporation, and Support for Sport. Support for Sport helps develop community and provincial sport programs. Over to you, PL.
And in the semi-final, we'll have in lane 1 the Netherlands, lane 2 Italy, lane 3 Great Britain, lane 4 Denmark, lane 5 Mexico, lane 6 China, lane 7 Czech Republic, lane 8 Canada, and in lane 9 the United States. Top 3 advancing to the A final. In lane 1, B finalists earlier this year in Retice from the Netherlands, Vish Schiffels, Selma Konigen, Kitty Prooper, and Anna Mus. In lane 2, a new crew for Italy, who brings a variety of background, including world-class marathon paddlers from Italy, Susanna Sicali, Matilde Rosa, Cristina Petraccia, and Agata Fantini. In lane 3, 5th place in Poznan earlier this year from Great Britain, Deborah Kerr, Emma Russell, Emily Lewis, and Rebecca Simon. In lane 4, 8th place last year at the Tokyo Olympics and 7th place at the World Championship last year from Denmark, Bolette Iversen, Frederikke Mathisen, Pernille Knudsen, and Sarah Milters. In lane 5, strong crew from Mexico with lots of international experience, including Pan American Games silver medalist in 2019 from Mexico, Karina Alanis, Isabel Romero, Beatriz Briones, and Marciela Montemayor. In lane 6, different crews from last year's Olympics, 6th place finishing crew, but bronze earlier this year in Retice from China, Nanwang, Yunwen Sun, Luan Yang, and Lingjia Chen. In lane 7, Czech Republic was 8th last year at the World Championships and 8th earlier this year in Poznan, Katerina Sarubova, Barbara Betlakova, Stepanka Sobiskova, and Adila Hazova. In lane 8, a new crew for Canada with representative from Rideau, Chima, Trois-Rivières, finalists at both World Cups earlier this year and on a great trajectory in this new Olympic quad, Adrienne Langlois, Natalie Davison, Riley Melanson, and Toshka Rebecca. And in lane 9, a number of veterans and new faces here in this US K4. Elena Wolgamott, Callie Wilding, Emma McDonald, and Caitlin McElroy. So again, in lane 1, the Netherlands, in lane 2, Italy, lane 3, Great Britain, lane 4, Denmark, lane 5, Mexico, lane 6, China, lane 7, the Czech Republic, lane 8, Canada, and in lane 9, the United States. Top 3 advancing to the A final. Athletes are in the starting lanes now and ready to go. We should have a start in momentarily. And we have a start in this women's K4 500 meter semifinal. Again, top 3 heading to the A final. Strong start from the middle crew of Denmark and Mexico here, as well as the Czech Republic as they're getting the races underway here in the first 100 meters. Great start from Canada as well in lane 8 in that pink boat. And Canada looks to be in the lead here with the first 100 meters of the way. Italy, Denmark, and Mexico also in the mix. Approaching the halfway point here, 4 or 5 boats in the mix. Close racing here in this women's K4 500. Top 3 advancing to the A final. It is a 5-boat race at this point with Italy, Great Britain, Denmark, Mexico, and Canada in the mix. But Canada is currently in the lead as we're approaching the 200-meter mark. Canada from Mexico from the United Kingdom. And we can see the rate starting to increase here as crews are making one last push to try to reach this A final. Top 3 will be advancing to the A final here. Canada in the mix here, trying to reach the A final here at these World Championships. And in the last 100 meters here, it is still a race for the final. 3 or 4 boats in this race. A lot of athletes pushing here as they're trying to close and reach the A final. Canada looks to be in the mix here with Mexico and the United Kingdom, but things are still coming really close as Denmark is making one last push. But it will be Mexico, Canada, and Great Britain. And winners in this heat, Mexico, Karina Alanis, Isabel Romero, Beatriz Biones and Marcela Montemayor. Great win here for Mexico in the semifinal of the women's K4 500 meters. So strong start from Canada here, early lead, and then able to hold back on to stay in the top 3 position to move on to the A final at these World Championships.
Yeah, and the hometown crowd certainly reacting and cheering on our Canadian crew there.
Yeah, nice rebounding for the girls here as the heat was a bit of a tougher race, having an outside lane here in the semifinal, but able to put their race plan together here and deliver when it counts. So moving on to the A final, we'll be looking for them to challenge for medals.
Oh, there's that finish again.
It does look, yep, just Mexico from Great Britain, and then Canada close with Italy coming in 4th with Denmark.
You can tell they were working hard there.
Yeah, and with the K4 selection working in continental ways and at the World Championship, it does matter to look within the different continents as well and all of that. So certainly great to see 2 American crews performing and reaching the A final, and then they'll have to go head-to-head again. So Mexico from Great Britain, from Canada here, joining the rest of the boats in the A final later this week. Italy, Denmark, China, the Czech Republic, the Netherlands, and the United States will not be advancing.
Next up, we're moving to the men's K4 500 meter semifinals, and we're pleased to welcome Peter Giles, who joins us now. Peter is an Olympian who started his paddling journey on Lake Echo as a member of the Orenda Canoe Club. He's also a former president of Canoe-Kayak Canada. Peter, you've represented Canada in K4 at the highest level, so what are the keys to success for these crews looking to capture a spot in the final?
Well, I guess you want to start with having 4 world-class kayakers in your crew, but since all these crews have advanced to the semifinals, we can probably assume they have that. Then, to take advantage of that, synchronization is really important. Synchronization of the paddles and the motion in the boat. And then the other thing that might be a bit surprising is pacing is an issue, and you know, getting the pacing right at the start of the race. These races seem really short, but they are long enough that we do see crews come from behind. We see sometimes crews start too hard, you know, so getting that pacing right after the start is a really critical moment.
Well, we're certainly excited to have you through these next couple of races here, and it looks like we're seeing some crews line up at the start line. So over to you, PL.
Yeah, in this first semifinal, so top 3 again advancing to the A final, 4th to 7th, and 1 best time to the B final. We'll have in lane 1 from Singapore, a fairly young crew that we haven't seen this year, but crews that include members from the Singapore Canoe Marathon World Championship team. From one Singapore, Tekko, Jovi Kalichilvan, Zanteo, and Waito. In lane 2, from Lithuania, 2021 5th place at the World Championships and bronze in Rachice earlier, Simonas Maldonis, Mindaugas Maldonis, Ignas Navakauskas, and Arturas Seha. In lane 3, the Canadian crew building on their experience in Tokyo last year, representative from Balmy Beach, Club de Canotage de Lac-Beauport, Club de Canoe-Kayak de Vitesse de Trois-Rivières, and the Mississauga Canoe Club, Nick Matviv, Pierre-Luc Poulin, Laurent Lavigne, and Simon McTavish. In lane 4, 12th position at the World Championship last year and bronze in Poznan earlier this year from France. In lane 5, the bronze medalist from last year's World Championship from the Czech Republic. And in lane 6, the 2021 World Championships finalist who's 7th in Tokyo from Hungary. In lane 7, new crew replacing the 6th place finisher from Tokyo last year from Australia. In lane 8, Great Britain, and in lane 9, Japan. And we have a start here in this first of 2 semifinals in the men's K4 500 meters. Fast and furious race here, the fastest race on the program over the 500 meters. Top 3 advancing to the A final. Great start from France here and Lithuania in the opening stages of this semifinal. It does look to be quite neck and neck, and we have a number of boats in contentions here as we're approaching the halfway point already. France being in the mix, Lithuania still there, the Canadian mounting a charge now, and as well Great Britain being in the mix. So those boats all close at this point, top 3 advancing. At the 200-meter mark, it does look like Canada is sitting in 3rd place and looking to advance here in the A final. And the race now is underway. We have higher rate coming in. The Czech Republic moving through the field. Australia coming in. This looks like an A final, folks. So lots of athletes and lots of boats being extremely close. Canada still trying to hold on for that third spot here as we're approaching the dying stages of this race. About 50 meters to go. And it does look like Canada may have done just enough after the Czech Republic taking the win from France and then photo finish for third, but it does look like Canada may have inched his way into the A final. We'll have to wait for confirmation of those results, but great win here from Jakub Spikar, Radek Sluth, Jakub Zavrel, and Daniel Havel from the Czech Republic.
And Peter, what was going through your mind kind of as you were watching this? Like, what were you looking for? What stood out to you?
You know, did someone start a bit too fast? Did someone deliberately taking a strategy of trying to come from behind because they have different psychological effects? It looks like for Canada, it looks like it's very important for them to get a good start, right, and get out into the meat part of the race, and that looks like the way they're most comfortable. So I was really happy to see them get out there early, and boy, did they ever have to fight. They had to pass the crew on their right in order to get that third place. As you know, so the crew's good team. Good for them. That's got to feel really good.
Yeah, Canada edging out Lithuania and Hungary here in the last few strokes of this race. So
I mean, that's, you know, it was a long time ago when I was racing, you know, Hungary and Germany just used to win this race. One of them would win this race every year, you know, the Olympic distance K4. And to see Hungary not able to make the A final, I mean, it really shows you how the depth of field has changed. And for Canada to get into the A final with that much depth of field, I mean, that's a very impressive accomplishment.
And we do have confirmation of those results here. Canada making it into the A final. The Czech Republic taking the win, followed by France and Canada. Hungary, Lithuania, Australia, and Great Britain will be moving to the B final. Japan will provisionally have to wait until the second semifinal is completed to know if they will advance.
Well, exciting first semifinal there, and it looks like the athletes are making their way to the line for the second semifinal in this K4 Men's 500.
Yeah, we're about 3 minutes away. This second semifinal will feature Mexico, Italy, Denmark, Slovakia, Ukraine, Portugal, Argentina, New Zealand, and the United States. In lane 1, third at the Pan Am Games from Mexico, Alberto Fragosa, Daniel Ledesma, Jose Alcazar, and Osvaldo Fuentes. In lane 2, 11th in 2019 in this event and third in the B final in Riccice earlier this year from Italy, Andrea Scera, Nicola Ripamonti, Tommaso Freschi, and Manfredi Rizza. In lane 3 from Denmark, fourth in the B final last year at home in Copenhagen at the World Championships and finalist in Poznan earlier this year, Victor Asmund, Rasmus Knudsen, Morten Gaversen, and Magnus Siversen. In lane 4, bronze medalist in the Tokyo and 2021 world silver medalist from Slovakia, Samuel Balash, Denis Mikash, Staba Zalka, and Adam Botek. In lane 5, the 2021 world champion, gold in Poznan and second in Riccice, from Ukraine, Dmitro Danilenko, Oleg Kutkarik, Igor Trunov, and Ivan Semikin. In lane 6, 8th at last year's Olympic game and 11th at the World Championships from Portugal, Paulo Ribeiro, Messias Baptista, Emmanuel Silva, and David Varela. In lane 7, America's representative in 2016 in Rio and defending Pan Am Games champions from Argentina, Juan Caceres, Gonzalo Benassi, Gonzalo Carreras, and Agustin Rodriguez. In lane 8, B finalists in Poznan earlier this year and building from a large World Cup team as they continue to build their program from New Zealand, Benjamin Duffy, Hamish Legarth, James Munro, and Zach Firkins. And in lane 9, younger athletes lining up to gain some experience and posting some strong results at the World Cups earlier this year from the United States, Miles Wither, Aaron Small, Jesse Lishuk, and Nathaniel Ayres. And the athletes are in the starting booth now again in the second semifinal of the men's K4, top 3 advancing to the A final. And we have a start in the second semifinal of the men's K4 500 meters. Top 3 advancing to the A final. Great start from Ukraine, as you'd expect early on, the 2021 world champions. But Slovakia staying with them early, as well as New Zealand having a great start from lane 8. Looks like coming into 200 meters in, the Ukraine and Slovakia currently having a great race. In third place, we have 4 boats and contentions coming in. We'll come into the halfway point here and get some split timing as we're coming through. And it does look like Ukraine from Slovakia, and Portugal and Argentina very, very close to that third spot at this point. But Argentina coming through the field here at the 200-meter mark. Athletes are increasing their rate here, trying to get Mount a big finish here as they're entering the last 100 meter of this race with the red buoys. You can see the Ukraine trying to hold off Slovakia, that's picking up the rate. Argentina coming in, but also a late charge from the Portuguese boat here, charging through the field, coming in and trying to snag that third place. Coming into the finish, it does look like the Ukraine followed by Slovakia and then Portugal. So close for fourth between Argentina and Denmark.
Looked like that one went a bit more according to form, and maybe Ukraine was trying to make a statement there, and Slovakia didn't quite want to let them. But that was a very impressive performance for sure from the 2 crews in the middle and Portugal. So. That'll be, again, that's going to be a really exciting final. I know Ukraine was barely edged out in the heat from finishing first and advancing. To think that the world champion had to go to the semifinal, you know, that again really shows you what the difference is like this year.
Yeah, absolutely, and certainly setting us up for an exciting final ahead. Peter, I wonder if you could speak a little bit to the impact that hosting an event like this has on young athletes, especially here in Dartmouth, who are watching this world level competition happen on their home course.
Oh yeah, I think that's really one of the things that we love about hosting these events, and as you say, especially in Dartmouth. I went to watch the World Championships when I was a teenager in Montreal. I traveled to go and see those World Championships and see the world's best athletes competing in Canada. And now my 17-year-old daughter is outside in the grandstand, you know, watching these races too. And all her teammates are going to be here over the weekend. And I'm sure we're going to see a giant crowd. There are so many paddlers in this town, and so they're both going to be big fans, and they'll take big inspiration from what they're going to see from Canada and all the countries that are here.
Oh, that's great to hear, and certainly that is one of the benefits of hosting an event like this here, is just the inspiration it gives to our young athletes as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a bit immeasurable, but I think that is a really important contribution.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Peter.
Thanks.
It's great to have you here, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you throughout the next few days too.
Yeah, it's a great seat to watch the races, so thank you for letting me share that, and good luck with the rest of the day.
Thank you so much. And a huge thank you as well to our bronze sponsors, East Coast Credit Union and Bell Media, for their support. We are heading now to the C2 Women's 500 meters semifinal.
And we're about to get ready for this first semifinal here of the C2 Women's 500 meters. Top 3 advancing to the A final. So we'll have one semifinal here. This semifinal will feature the USA, Poland, Moldova, Canada, Chile, Great Britain, Spain, and Mexico. In lane 2, a 2021 the under-23 B finalist in C1 200, and also lots of experience from Azusa Murphy here. From the United States, Azusa Murphy and Andrea Gizela. In lane 3, 5th place at last year's World Championships in silver in Poznan earlier this year from Poland, Sylwia Cherbinska and Julia Walczak. In lane 4, 7th in Tokyo last year in the 2021 World Championships finalists in Copenhagen from Moldova, Daniela Kociu and Maria Olarasu. In lane 5, the bronze medalist from last year's Tokyo Olympics from Katie and Laurence, and then Sloan stepping in here to replace Laurence, Fourth in Poznan earlier this year from Canada, Katie Vincent and Sloane McKenzie. In lane 6, 10th at last year's World Championships and winner of the B final in Tokyo last year from Chile, Paula Gomez and Karen Rocco. In 7, a younger crew representing GB this week and semi-finalists at last year's World Championships, Bethany Gill and Afton Fitzhenry. In lane 7, 8th in Copenhagen last year from Spain, Maria Moreno and Maria Prats. And in lane 9, top 10 finisher in C1 200 and 500 at the Junior Worlds, as well as the 2019 C1 200 and 500 U23 World Championship semi-finalists from Mexico, Nicole Guzman and Lucero Mendoza. So once again, the United States, Poland, Moldova, Canada, Chile, Great Britain, Spain, and Mexico, top 3 advancing to the A final. And we have a start here in this semi-final of the women's C2 500 meters. Great start from Moldova here, jumping to an early lead as we are just the crews making their way down to the bottom of the lake here where the finish line is situated. But great 500 shot here as we can see the boats get underway. Strong start from lane 4 Moldova, as well as Canada's Katie Vincent and Sloane McKenzie, as well as Poland's Sylwia Skierzbinska and Julia Walczak. Staying in the mix is Spain and Great Britain as well. It's about a 5-boat race at this point. The United States being very close as well. Top 3 advancing to the A final. At the 200-meter mark in the race, it does look like Canada has a little bit of a lead over Moldova, and Chile and Poland in the mix as well. So Canada from Moldova, from Poland, and Great Britain. Spain not letting up, picking up the rate here in the second half of this race as they're trying to challenge for a spot into this A final. But with 200 meters to go, it does look like Canada from Moldova, and then Poland and Spain and Great Britain fighting out that third place. The athlete pick up their rate here as they're approaching 150 meters to go, trying to secure a spot in that A final. Really tight field here. 5 boats competing for one of those spots that will take them to compete for the medals. But it does look like Canada has a slight lead, about half a boat here over the rest of the field. Poland just picking up the rate here, trying to mount the challenge on Romania. Great Britain not letting up though as they're coming in the last 50 meters of this race. As we come to the finish, it is Canada taking the win from Moldova and Poland. 4th place to Great Britain.
Commanding win there for our Canadians. You can see them waving. All the fans here cheering them on this morning.
Yeah,
Great to see that.
Great win from Katie Vincent and Sloane McKenzie. Again, a new pairing this year as they're developing towards the 2024 Olympic Games. So great to see that crew come back after 4th place in their semifinal in their heats, and then come in and take the win here. They'll be a crew to watch in the final.
A big thank you to our supporting sponsors here at the 2022 World Championships. They are Pattison, McInnes Cooper, Fluid Insurance, Royal Bank of Canada, Immediacy, Wildy Event Store, and Docs Unlimited. Without them, this all wouldn't have been possible, so a huge thank you to all of our sponsors. Getting some nice slow-mo shots here from that race. You can see the Canadians here really in sync throughout the whole 500 meters there.
Yeah, quite relaxed, generating a lot of glide in the boat, letting the boat work. But yeah, Canada winning this by about a boat over Romania and Poland. So those 3 boats will be advancing to the A final. So confirmation of those results, Katie Vincent and Sloan McKenzie from Canada taking the win. Moldova and Poland will also be advancing to the A final. Great Britain, Chile, Spain, Mexico, and the USA will be eliminated.
Next up, we have the men's C2 500 meter semifinals.
Yeah, so 2 semifinals here, top 3 advancing to the A final, 4th to 7th, and 1/8 best time to final B. World champion from Italy have already advanced, winning their heat earlier this week, but we'll see who will be joining them in this final. This first semifinal will feature France, Hungary, Czech Republic, China, Moldova, Cuba, and Mexico. In lane 2, 4th place finisher in the C1000 event last year in Tokyo and 7th at the World Championships from France, Loïc Léonard and Adrien Barthes.
Please come to the start line. Please come to the start line. Walk to the start.
Also a Rio Olympian in C1200 from Hungary, Jonathan Hachu and Adam Fekete. In lane 3, 8th place at last year's World Championship in this event from the Czech Republic, Antonin Hrabal and Jiří Razarubil. In lane 5, silver medal in the 1,000-meter event in Tokyo last year. New crew this year from China, Haoliu Bowenji. In lane 6, the Olympic champion over the 1,000-meter distance. In lane 6 is Sergei Tarnovsky, is bronze medalist from C1000 last year, and his brother Oleg is the bronze medalist in the C1500 at the World Championship. Oleg Tarnovsky and Sergei Tarnovsky. In lane 7, the Olympic champion in the 1,000-meter distance from Cuba, Sergei Madrigal and Taviani Alvarez, a new partner for Sergei Madrigal here. And in lane 9, Mexico, Guillermo Quierno and Rigoberto Camilo. And we have a start here in this first semi-final of the men's C2 500 meters. Strong start from Hungary early on, taking a quick lead of about half a boat, but it does look like Moldova and China staying in the mix. France also having a great start. And top 3 advancing to the A final here. It is about a 4 or 5 boat race, very close. This event is a typically very, very close event. That gets resolved basically in the last 5 or 10 meters, so expect a really close finish here for these top 3 positions. So coming in a halfway, Hungary from Moldova, from France, and China. China making a move now with about 200 meters to go, coming in back on Hungary, who still has the lead. Moldova coming as well, and France picking up their rate here as they're mounting their challenge for a spot in the A final. So it does look to be Hungary from China, and then Moldova and France fighting for that 3rd spot as we are entering the last 100 meters of this race. Rates are climbing again as we can see. Athletes are going to make a long last push and trying to get into the final. France has just raised their rate dramatically here as they're trying to secure a spot in this A final as well. Hungary and China still in the mix as well. As we're coming into the last few meters, very close between France and Moldova for that 3rd spot. And it does look like France may have just edged out Moldova here for that 3rd place finish, but Hungary and China safely through, very close for 3rd place. And winner in this first semifinal, China, Haoliu and Bowenji. So we'll wait for full confirmation of those results here to know between Moldova and France, but certainly some great racing here in the first semifinal of the men's C2 500 meters. So great start as we saw from Hungary, getting off the line very quickly. Those athletes have some 200-meter backgrounds. You'd expect that to happen, and then just pacing their energy throughout the race so that they could stay in the top 3. get a nice shot here of the finish. Just France with the higher rate here, just coming in through, and it does look like, so China from Hungary, and then France with the lunge just at the right time, getting this by about half a meter over Moldova. A great win here from China in this first semifinal of the C2 men 500 meters.
Nice celebration.
So again, from China, Haoliu Bowenji taking the win here. Hungary and France will be advancing to the A final. Moldova, Cuba, the Czech Republic, and Mexico will be moving on to the B final.
And a big shout out to our community sponsors who are helping bring all of this 2022 World Championship action to you. Downtown Dartmouth, Develop Nova Scotia, and Halifax Water. Canoe 22 would also like to thank Turnkey Travel. They have delivered all of our travel and accommodations needs for this event. And next up, we've got a second semifinal here in the C2 men's 500 meters.
Yeah, and this semifinal will feature crews from Colombia, Canada, Brazil, Germany, Lithuania, Ukraine, and Japan, as they're approaching the starting area of this 500-meter event on Lake Banook. In lane 2, a B finalist from the Under-23 World Championships in C1 200. From Colombia, Alejandro Ramirez and Daniel Stipagota. In lane 3, the semi-finalists from last year's World Championships and B finalists of the World Cups. Representatives Sakawa Canoe Club, and Alex is from the Club de Canotage de Lac Beauport, Tyler Leila and Alex Planter. In lane 4, fourth in Tokyo over the 1,000-meter event, and new crew this year representing Brazil, Erlon Silva and Felipe Vieira. In lane 5, the Olympic bronze medalists from the C2000 in Tokyo last year. From Germany, Sebastian Brendel and Tim Hecker. In lane 6, the World Championships 5th place finisher and bronze medalist earlier this year, both C1 200-meter champions from Lithuania, Enrikas Zastostas and Vadim Korobov. In lane 7, 5th place at the 2021 World Championships and silver in Poznan earlier this year from the Ukraine, Vitaly Vergelis and Andriy Bachok. And in lane 9, a 2018 B finalist in C1 500 and a 2016 Junior World C1000 B finalist from Japan, Ryo Naganuma and Shuhei Hosumi. So once again, Colombia, Canada, Brazil, Germany, Lithuania, Ukraine, and Japan as we're approaching the start of the second semifinal of the C2 men 500. Top 3 advancing to the A final. So representatives from Canada in lane 3 in this race. We have a start in the second semifinal of the C2 men 200. Great start here from the Germans and the Canadians as we're heading off in the first 100 meters of this race. Germany jumping out after a solid performance yesterday in the C2000, a convincing win. Canada sticking with them here, as well as the Ukraine. Lithuania also in the mix here as Germany, Lithuania, and the Ukraine are building a slight lead. Canada and Brazil staying in the mix here as they're trying to vie for a top 3 place that will advance them to the A final.
Loving these overhead shots where you can really see everyone.
So approaching the halfway point in this race, it is Germany from Ukraine, and then Canada in 3rd place at this stage, Lithuania in 4th. Brazil mounting a bit of a comeback now as we're approaching 200 meters to go. You'll see the athletes try to fight very close for that 3rd place between Lithuania, Brazil, and Canada. Germany and the Ukraine seem to be in control here. You can see that rate increasing, and then Canada, Brazil, and Lithuania are increasing their rate as well, fighting for that 3rd place. Those red buoys are the last 100, as you can see, but Lithuania is powering through and trying to hold on to that 3rd place that they've had since the start. But Brazil now is coming through really strongly, and Canada also in the mix, raising their rate and trying to get into that A final. coming into the finish. Close finish here for that first place between the Ukraine and Germany, and so close for third again between Lithuania and Brazil. Canada coming in fifth in this semifinal. It does look like Germany, Sebastian Brundle and Tim Hecker will be taking the win here in the second semifinal, unofficially of course until we get confirmation, but great win here by that pairing. They'll advance to the A final. Get to the finish line replay here. Very close between Germany taking the win over Lithuania, over the Ukraine. And it does look like Lithuania stopped a bit early, but managed to hold on to third, with Brazil coming in a close fourth. Canada coming in about behind here in fifth place. They'll move on to the B final.
Certainly some exciting semifinals for us this morning, PL.
Yeah, it's been very close. Some great racing here. Shows the level. Making it to the A final is a difficult task, and the top of the B final and the bottom of the A are very interchangeable in a lot of cases. So certainly if you're in the top 5 or 6 in semifinals, you have a shot at making it to the A on a good day. So very close racing. Some exciting races in the K4s, the C2s, and the C1 200 earlier.
Yeah, great to see that. Such a good way to start day 3 here at the 2022 World Championships at Lake Banook. And it's now time for a trio of semifinals in the K1 Men's 500 event. A huge thank you also to our bronze sponsors, East Coast Credit Union and Bell Media.
So as we're making our way here to the start line of the K1 500 meters in the first semifinal, we'll have athletes from Uruguay, Puerto Rico, Spain, the Czech Republic, Germany, Finland, Canada in this first semifinal, the United States, and Pakistan. So in lane 1, the semifinalist in the 2021 U23 World Championships in Portugal from Uruguay, Matias Otero. In lane 2, the 21-year-old C finalist in the K1 500 at the Under-23 World Championships last year from Puerto Rico, Eddie Barranco. In lane 3, the Olympic champion from Rio 2016 in K1000 and double world champion in K2 500 from Spain, Marcus Cooper. In lane 4, the 4-time Olympic medalist and 3-time Olympian and 4 times world champion from the Czech Republic, Josef Dostal. In lane 5, the 2019 Under-23 World Champion in this event and World Champion in K4000 from Germany, Jakob Thorsten. In lane 6, racing at the World Championship since 2013 and veteran of Team Finland, from Finland, Jeremy Hakala. In lane 7, the Junior B finalist in K1000 in 2018 and 2019 from the Balmy Beach Canoe Club, Canada's Cameron Lowe. In lane 8, 15th at the Under-23 World Championships last year from the Oklahoma Canoe Club, from the United States, Augustus Cook. And in lane 9, competed in all 3 distances at the 2019 World Championships from Pakistan, Safan Swale. And we have a start in this first semi-final of the men's K1 500 meters, 1 to 3 to final A, 4 to 6 to final B, and 7 to 9 to final C. We get a very strong field here of Olympic champions, Olympic medalists, and world champions as we are getting underway in this first of 3 semifinals. Strong start here from Spain, Czech Republic, Germany, and Finland here in the opening stages of this K1 500 meters. And it looks like 200 meters in, Germany is a slight lead over Spain and the Czech Republic. Finland holding on strong, as well as making a bit of a comeback here is Uruguay in the outside lanes. So Germany from Finland, from Spain, and the Czech Republic as we get to the last 200 meters of this race. Approaching the last 100 meters here in these red buoys. A bit of a move from Joseph Dostal coming back here, as well as Spain's Marcus Cooper, as Jacob Thorsten had control of this race the entire time. Jeremy Hakala from Finland just fighting through here, trying to hold on, but coming back from is Canada's Cameron Lowe here, pushing strong in the second half of this semi-final and moving through the field here, and a strong result coming his way. But it does look like Marcus Cooper from Germany, from the Czech Republic, and Canada's Cameron Lowe coming in 4th place, advancing to the B final. So taking the win here in this first semi-final in the K1 Men's 500 is Marcus Cooper from Spain. So strong start here from the Finnish athlete early on and taking a bit of a lead, and then Germany fighting back. So a number of lead changes, as we are going through this race. Germany in control through most of the race. Winner earlier this year in Rachitse, so really in good shape this year and in good form. Veterans here, Joseph Dostal and Marcus Cooper also having great races, being patient before moving through the field in the last 200 meters and securing their spot for the day final. And great racing here from Cameron Lowe's from Canada, coming back from 6th or 7th and moving in to come in 4th position here in this semi-final as well.
Yeah, it was great to see him really rally at the end there.
In confirmation of those results, so Marcus Cooper, Jakob Thorsten, and Joseph Dostal moving on to the A final. Cameron Lowe, Jeremy Hakala, and Augustus Cook will be moving to the B final. Eddie Berenko, Matias Otero, and Safan Swale will compete in the C final of the men's K1 at 500 meters.
Canoe 22 thanks our supporting sponsors, Pattison, McInnes Cooper, Fluid Insurance, Royal Bank of Canada, Immediacy, Blow the Event Store, and Docs Unlimited. And we're moving now to the second of 3 semifinals in the men's K1 500. The top 3 finishers again here will head directly to the final.
And just getting ready here to go in the second semi-final. In lane 1, the B finalist last year at the Under-23 World Championships from Slovakia, Milan Dorner. In lane 3, the 30-year-old experienced K2 and K4 specialist from Italy, Marto Crena. In lane 4, second place in the Under-23 K1000 last year in Portugal from Denmark, Thorborn Rask. In lane 5, 11th place at the World Championships last year in Denmark. First in Heat 1 earlier this week from France, Francis Mouget. In lane 6, the 3-time Olympian and double Olympic medalist, including bronze in Tokyo in the 1,000 meter from Portugal, Fernando Pimenta. In lane 7, the semi-finalist at last year's World Championships from Israel, Ilya Pomolny. In lane 8, 5th in the Junior K4 500 in 2018 from Japan, Ryuji Matsushiro. And in lane 9, the semi-finalist in Rachitse earlier this year from the Netherlands, Albert Vlier. And we have a start in the second semi-final of the men's K1 500 meters. In lane 1, Slovakia, lane 3, Italy, lane 4, Denmark, lane 5, France, lane 6, Portugal, lane 7, Israel, lane 8, Japan, lane 8, the Netherlands. Top 3 advancing to the A final, for the 6th to the B final. Strong start here from the Frenchman, as you'd expect, doing really well in this heat, winning his heat earlier this week. But Fernando Pimenta from Portugal moving through the field now as he's trying to race from the front as he usually does here in this K1 500 meter event. At the halfway point, it is Portugal from France. Close racing between Italy and Denmark for that 3rd spot. 3 or 4 boats in contentions here for 2nd to 3rd. So lots of excitement coming in the second half of this race as they're trying to secure their spot into the A final. But it is Portugal from France. Italy is currently in 3rd place, and Denmark fighting to come into this top 3 as well, as we're approaching the last 150 meters of this event. And Denmark is just picking up the rate now, trying to come back through the field in France and Italy. Close racing here as we're approaching the last 50 meters of this race. Fernando Pimenta just in control, but very close for 2nd to 4th here as we're approaching the last few meters of this event. Italy responding and trying to pick up the rate here. France just seizing up a little bit as Denmark is coming through very close as we're getting to the finish line here. And so close for that top 3 to make its way into the A final. But clear win here from Fernando Pimenta, taking the win in the second semi-final of the men's K1 500 meters. He'll advance to the A final. Nice replay here of the start. The Italy and France just jumping out in front very early, with Fernando Pimenta just holding back a little bit and then moving through the field in the middle of the race. Strong race here as well from the Danish athlete Thorbjørn Rask, just sitting back a little bit and able to move through the field in the last 200 meters to come in the top 3 placings. Close finish here, as we can see, Portugal from Italy and Denmark, France just missing out by a nose here to make this A final. So getting confirmation of those results of Fernando Pimenta from Portugal taking the win here and moving on to the A final alongside Mauro Crana from Italy and Thorbjørn Rask from Denmark. France, Slovakia, and Japan will move on to the B final, and the Netherlands and Israel will move on to the C final.
And we do have one more K1 500 meter semi-final for the men. And at our festival site, our food vendors, licensed beverage area, the marketplace, and the kids zone are just about to open. There's something for everyone, including cold beverages from our partners, 9 Locks, Lake City Cider, and Coldstream.
So just about to get underway here in this 3rd of the semi-final of the men's K1 500. In lane 1, the semi-finalists from last year's World Championships in K1 500 and K1 200 from Singapore, Brendan Oil. In lane 2, the 2-time Junior World finalist in K4 500 and 5th in Poznan earlier this year from Poland, Wiktor Lizinski. In lane 3, the Junior World finalist in K1000 and K2 500 last year in Portugal from Romania, Darius Zaharia. In lane 4, the Olympic gold medalist in K2000 and the under-23 world champion in K4 500 in 2019 from Australia, Jean Westhuizen. In lane 5, the world champion in K2000 last year and 9th in K2 500 first in Heat 3 earlier this week from Sweden, Dennis Kernen. In lane 6, the 21-year-old making his first Senior World Championships appearance. A lot of senior experience in K2 and K4 from Hungary, Gergely Ballo. In lane 7, an athlete who now trains in Germany with the support of the ICF and the IOC Refugee Athlete Scholarship. He competed at the Tokyo Olympics for the IOC Refugee team from the ICF, Syed Fazluda. In lane 8, 6th place finisher at the 2019 Under-23 World Championships in Romania from Slovenia, Rock Smith. And in lane 9, the 23-year-old K2 and K4 specialist from New Zealand, Ashton Razor. So again, in lane 1, Singapore, lane 2, Poland, lane 3, Romania, lane 4, Australia, lane 5, Sweden, lane 6, Hungary, lane 7, the ICF, lane 8, Slovenia, and lane 9, New Zealand, as we get ready to get underway in this third semi-final of the men's K1 500 meters. We have a start in the third semi-final of the men's K1 500 meters. Strong start from Singapore out in lane 1, early on jumping into a great start again. Semi-finalist at last year's World Championships in K1 200, so in the mix early on. But you can see Australia's John Vestusen, again the Olympic gold medalist in K2000 in Tokyo, jumping into a bit of a lead here, as well as Hungary's Gergely Ballo having a great start here to this event. Approaching the first 200 meters of this race, it is Australia in the lead at this point, with Poland, Sweden, Hungary, and New Zealand in the mix as well. But such a small lead, you can see on the screen approaching the halfway point. It is Australia from Sweden, Poland, and Hungary as they're trying to secure a top 3 placing here to advance to the A final. Rock Smith making a big push here from Slovenia with the last 200 meters starting his finish quite early here as he's trying to secure a top 3 placing, but coming through the field here, highest rate out there at the moment, trying to push really hard to get back in contention out of lane 8, but Australia in control with Poland making a move now and Sweden in the mix as well. Entering the last 75 or 50 meters here of this third semi-final. Australia in control with Sweden coming in, but very late push here from Hungary, trying to snag that third place from Poland as they're coming into the dying stages here. Very close, but it does look like Australia, Sweden, and Poland will be the ones advancing to the A final. And winner in this third semi-final is John Vestusen from Australia.
Congrats to him, and after those 3 semifinals, looking forward to a very exciting final. A word about a partnership that's really important here to us at Canoe 22. The North American Indigenous Games are taking place in Chibukta, Dartmouth, and Millbrook First Nation. They are happening in July 2023. Those games will bring together 756 Indigenous nations to celebrate, share, and reconnect through sport and culture. You can learn more. They're also looking for volunteers. More information at naig2023.com. So again, that's naig2023.com.
Please come to the competition committee in the tower, please.
So waiting confirmation of those results here as we see the photo finish, or the slow-mo finish of this third semi-final in the K1 500 meters. The win from Australia, Sweden, and Poland. And then Hungary just lunging a little late here for 4th position. Rock Smith coming in 5th place after a really strong finish and moving back through the field.
And we do have confirmation here of the results. So in first place, Australia, second place, Sweden, third place, Poland, all three of those athletes moving on to the A final, and then Hungary and Slovenia, the ICF, moving on to the B final. So congratulations to everyone there. Next up, we have the men's KL3 men's 200 meter B final. That is coming up here at 11:15. So about 8 minutes away here until that B final, and then we have several para event finals coming up after that. So we will be crowning some world champions here in the next hour or so. Announcement here for the team leader from Uruguay. Please head to the tower as soon as possible. So again, the team leader from Uruguay to the tower as soon as possible.
To the start of race number 124, KL 3-man 200 meters final B. Lane 1 Chile, lane 2 Japan, lane 3 Canada, lane 4 Israel, lane 5 United States, lane 6 Senegal, lane 7 Argentina, lane 8 Nigeria, and lane 9 Uruguay. Four minutes to the start of race number 124, KL 3-man 200 meters final B. 4 minutes to the start. 4 minutes. To the start of race number 124, KL 3-man 200 meters final B. For those please come to the start area your lane. For those please enter the start area in your correct lane. Lane 1 Chile, lane 2 Japan, lane 3 Canada, We still have 2 minutes to the start, so gentlemen, please relax. 2 minutes to the start.
As mentioned, we'll start with the B final of the KL3 men 200 meters and then move into the KL1 men 200 meter apron.
You know, we here upstairs, the temperatures are about 22 degrees. We might be in just under 990 meters.
Yeah, we're down racing condition this morning. Not a lot of wind, very fair condition conditions all as well. So there's some good racing here on the track this morning for these finals.
Well, we still have a race here for our continue here. The 172 World Championship on Lake Banook.
This B final in lane 1, the 18-year-old first time racing Marcelo.
1 minute to the start, gentlemen. Please come to the start line. Please come to the start line. 1 minute to the start.
Please hold your positions, gentlemen. Hold your positions, please. Hold your positions. Relax, please. Hold your positions. Hold your positions, please. Hold your positions, please. Thank you, gentlemen. Ready, set.
Australia. Lane 3, France. Lane 4, Hungary. Lane 5, Brazil. Lane 6, Hungary. Lane 7, Portugal. Lane 8, Chile. Lane 9, Spain.
Hold your positions. Ready, set.
Peter Kiss from Hungary, the defending Paralympic and world champion. Also a great start in lane 7, Alex Santos from Portugal. Brazil is so this mix here. They stay in the whole as we're coming in the last 100 meters. It does look like Peter Kiss is currently in the lead, but making a strong move. This was Jamie coming in.
This championship race carpet driving to pit here for that 1 mile as well. So going to scientists, Peter Kiss here, we're trying to get on some meters and making a late start here for those battles.
And defending his world title here, Hungary's Peter Kiss. Showing a lot of experience here. Again, that Paralympic gold medalist, defending world champion, and now world champion again. So 2019, 2021, 2022. A lot of great run here from Hungary's Peter Kiss, world champion in the men's 200 meters. Great racing here in the last 50 meters here at Lane Push. Lewis Silva from Brazil to overtake Rosemary Rhodes. So great start. Great racing here from these our medalists here again. Hungary taking the gold, Brazil the silver, and France the bronze.
To the start of race number 126, we are seeing a 200 meters final A. Lane 1, Lane 2, Ghana.
Next year we've got the women's final, the cadet and the chaos.
men's final, and then the other women's final, and then the women's final. After that, it's a series of finals and a championship plays together. And the second one will be starting out at men's that starts Tuesday, 1 o'clock.
Peter,
hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're world champion again.
Yeah.
How was the race?
Whew. I have a little sick in the World Cup, so I can defend my title. So I decided in the World Championship I can got my place, and so I got. So I'm really happy.
What has this year been like for you? You lost in Poznan.
Yeah.
So was that hard for you then to come back and show again that you're on top?
Yeah, it's really hard in the mental, get up the high again. But a lot of training in the summer got what I want.
Congratulations,
Thank you
Peter.
so much.
Paralympic champion, world champion again. Well done.
Thank you so much. Hi.
To the start of race number 126, final aid. All boats come to the starting area in your lane. For both please keep in the starting area in your correct lane.
Next up, we have the BL2 women's 200-meter final.
Lane 1 Israel, lane 3 Canada, lane 3 Australia, lane 4 Brazil, lane 5 Great Britain, lane 6 Germany, lane 7 Great Britain, lane 8 India, and lane 9 Japan. Two minutes to the start of race number 126. We are 2 women 200 meters final aid. We still have 2 minutes to the start, ladies. Please hold your positions there. 2 minutes to the start. One minute to the start, ladies. Please come to the start line. Please come to the start line. 1 minute to the start. Lane 1 and lane 2, please come to the start line. Number 8, please.
Lane 2, please come to the start line. And the route, please. Thank you, ladies. Ready, set.
And we haven't started. And such a close race, but really top of the field here for Applewigs right away, right off the start. Really high rate, lots of power, going straight as an arrow, just knowing she was going for gold here. But challenging her the whole way was Canada's Brianna Hennessy, who continues to improve on the world stage, driving lots of power through every serve and coming in here for the silver medal in these World Championships.
Great to see we've got some fans just in front of us here. Great to see them, hear them cheering her along the way here.
So what a great result here from these women. Again, Great Britain's Emma Wiggs taking the World Championship titles. Canada's Brianna Hennessy taking the silver. And then Great Britain's Janet Shippington coming in for great motivation. One bronze here in this women's 200 meter field. And we'll get to hear from our winner, Emma Wiggs, in just a few minutes as they make their way to boat control. But what an embrace here from the two great athletes, Emma Wiggs and Janet Shippington, respectively coming first and third here in this final.
Great overhead shots here, just athletes getting out of the water. You can see some boats coming into the water. And that is one of the three moving laps that are here right around Lake Banook and Durham, Nova Scotia. We talked a little bit about the conditions out there this morning. Here you have raced on this lake for so what are the athletes experiencing out there today?
Yeah, just perfect racing conditions as we can see in these finals, and I think we're just about to hear from Emma Wiggs, our world champion in the EL2 women's 200 meters.
Sorry, Siva.
You're right. Emma, congratulations, another world title.
Oh, that was long. That was really long and hard and brilliant. The field is so close and it felt a really good battle. So I'm absolutely chuffed. Like, that's my 10th. And can't quite believe it, if I'm honest.
World title.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit of a special one.
Yeah, no, I might get cry now. Don't make me cry.
You always cry. How are you feeling 2 years out from Paris? How are you feeling at this stage?
I'm relieved right now. I think this year's been a really tough year for lots of reasons, but it's been a really tough year and we've just done a bit of rebuilding. So we're not necessarily faster in this boat, but we're hopefully stronger. So hopefully now we can step on and make it even faster now. 'Cause I'm going to have to stay ahead of these girls because they're coming for me.
Yeah, I think they are, but you'll be all right. Congratulations on your 10th world title. Well done, Emma.
Thanks, Ross. God.
Great to hear there. Emma Wiggs, your winning your overall champion here, and we get confirmation of those results. Banook's taking the gold, Brianna Hennessy from Canada taking the silver, and Janet Sheffington from Great Britain taking the bronze.
Gentlemen, please come to the start line.
Before you come to Tokyo last year, New Zealand, Scott Martin. In lane 4, the 7th place finisher, 5th place at the Ladies World Championship recruiting David Phillipson.
Go forward to the boots, fellas.
The Summer Federation race was 4th place in Rio Championship recruiting
Come forward and hold your positions. All the hold. Thank you, gentlemen. All hold your positions. Ready, set.
Racing anticipated on this one, and as you can see, really great start from these athletes as they're jumping ahead. It does look like Italy's from Federico Mazzarella is having a really strong start in her push as they're entering the first 100 meters of this race, having a slight lead over the defending world champion Mikola Kusinniuk from the Ukraine. Coming into the 150 meters of
Huge congratulations to him. We've got Ukrainian fans here with a big flag on the sidelines as well. Big congratulations.
What a close race here in this men's KL200.
Expected a really close finish, top of the field. These athletes a lot of experience. Paralympians out there, World Championship medalists. So it's no surprise that this generated a really close final. We'll still have to go through the results. The tournament would want the silver around here in this race, but such a strong start from Federico Mazzarella. Really jumping back out here, getting into the front, getting into the lead as he got through the first 100 meters and tried to hold down. I don't know if it feel like they came back from it. But really City is just too strong here as he develops so much power in the second half to get about half a minute of the lead and take this one final.
Nicola, congratulations, world champion again. How is that?
Good.
How was the race for you?
Jak dla Ciebie ta гонка?
Гонка дуже важка.
It's so hard.
Дуже важка морально
It's also
через війну в Україні.
Morally too hard because now we war in Ukraine. But victory will be in our side, so we believe in our defense forces.
So does he think his win today will be special for people of Ukraine?
Ця перемога була спеціальна для людей в Україні.
Так.
Yes, sure.
Для наших солдатів.
It's for our defense forces.
Well, congratulations, Nicola. Well done.
Thank you.
Покажи так.
1 minute to start. Hold your positions. Lane 8 forward. Ready, set.
Charlotte, as you edge in towards the knock here, congratulations on another world title in this, the new Paralympic event. Well done.
No, thank you. It's really exciting to have the opportunity to double up. Coming from a sport where I was only a breaststroker in swimming, I only had the chance to go for one medal. So to have the opportunity to hopefully race 2 races in Paris is really, really exciting, and a challenge for the next 3 years to kind of learn how to double up. I've got great inspiration from my team that have already done it for a cycle, so excited for what it means for Great Britain Paracanoe.
How great is it to be racing here? I mean, what a great venue, what a great crowd. It's exciting.
Beautiful, and you know, I could tell we had a Canadian paddler in that race, so the crowd was absolutely unbelievable, and that's what we want. We want people to get excited about Paracanoe. As you've seen this morning, like, it's just such an exciting sport, and you know, we want as many people as possible to get on board so that it can become bigger and better in the years to come.
Congratulations, Charlotte. World champion. Well done.
Thank you very much.
To the start of race number 129, KR3 man 200 meters, final A. Gentlemen, please hold your position there. We have still 2 minutes to the start, 2 minutes. Welcome to the start, gentlemen. Please come to the start line. Please come to the start line. 1 minute to the start.
Lane 7, Greg Green, please come to the start line. Thank you, gentlemen. Ready,
one valley here, returning it towards the Australia just moving on here through the field. As we said for the last few years, the football between Australia will have to wait for the final results to get the winner here.
It looks like provisionally Mon Valley is that we're awarding the medal, but we're going to have to wait for and get the actual result and the official result here as we're going through such a close race between Mon Valley, Robert Olivers, and Australia's Dylan Little-Hallis here. Closest race we've had all day, I believe, so far. So what a show from these guys out there.
Nice to see them all congratulating and acknowledging each other out there too.
Such a great start here. Robert Olivers will take it lead in this race. And at the 100 meter mark, this race will be about between 5 or 6 different people here going through. So at any one game, but this man taking over the journey and managed to keep them celebrating the remontada there, Mon Valley from Spain.
Huge congratulations, and what a great race.
Exciting to see the margin between victory here. Such a close race, really in the hundredths of a second, but what a win here for Spain's Mon Valley in the men's KLV 200 meter, your 2022 world champion.
We talked about the level of competition in the semifinals here. We knew this was going to be an exciting final. Wow, that was unbelievably close.
Yeah, what a race. And we're here for a world champion in just a minute. He's making his way here to the dock, so we'll pass it on to the crew there to get comments on the race.
Congratulations, you're a world champion.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I don't speak English.
That's all right, I don't speak
Sorry.
Spanish. So how was the race for you?
Race perfect for me. These are lessons in the problem, the training, and this race very good.
First time for world champion?
I think yes.
Yeah, you
But
think it is? It definitely
primero,
is.
sí,
First gold for
fair.
yes, well done.
Wow,
Congratulations.
Thank you very
You want
much.
to say something in Spanish? What would you like to say in Spanish? España.
Para España, pues que no me lo creo. Increíble. Bueno, pero tengo que ir a pesaje.
So great to hear from Mon Valley here. Again, overcoming a bit of an injury and having a perfect race, and still can't believe it now that he's your 2022 world champion. What a race again in this men's KL3 200 meters.
Certainly an exciting log of finals there. We are here to return to the semi-final events now, beginning with the K2 200 meter women's final. And just a reminder that you can find the event schedule, results, and much more at Canoe22.com. And for another
semifinal will have athletes from Argentina, Sweden, Mexico, Romania, and the United States. In lane 2, the new duo racing on the international scene in this event from Argentina, Canoe-Kayak and Lucia Aziz. In lane 4, a two-time Olympian and Robbie Melrose in the K1 200 in 2018 and fourth last year in the K1 200 meter at World Championships, including Linnea Stansel and Bob Linkberg. In lane 5, an experienced K2 captain, 2 World Championship medals to their name in K2 500 and the K2000 from Mexico, Karina Alanis and Marciela Montemayor. In lane 6, from Romania, Malina Durescu and Laura Presa. And in lane 7, Savannah is joining the experience team in McElroy this event, coming up the semi-final results in Boston from the United States, Savannah Wright and Caitlin McElroy. So again, Argentina remains 3 in 4, Mexico 5, Romania 6, and the United States in 7. Top 3 advancing to the final.
One minute to start.
Athletes are just approaching the start line here. We're about to get underway in the semi-final line with the K2 200 meter.
Hold your positions. 2 forward. 2 forward. Ready, set.
Great start from Mexico here. Also in the mix, Argentina. But Romania now coming back strong as we're entering the second 100 meter of this race. Top 3 advancing to the final. So getting close here as we are getting to the last 50 meters of this race. Sweden moving into the lead from Mexico. Argentina challenging here as well for the top 3. And it is Sweden from Mexico and Argentina, Romania and the United States coming in 4th and 5th respectively. But what a win for the Linnea Stansel and Bob Linkberg here in the semi-final of the K2 women's 200 meters. Still advanced to the A final.
And while we're waiting for final confirmation here, just a reminder that we do have medal ceremonies starting at 1:10 this afternoon. So again, those start at 1:10. Any of the athletes who are will be accepting medals this afternoon, if you could go to the medal area 10 minutes before your ceremony is scheduled. So 10 minutes before your ceremony, please go to the medal area. Would like to share a note of appreciation to Canoe-Kayak Canada for their partnership in hosting these World Championships here on Lake Plymouth. And a very special thank you to the Atlantic Division of CKC for all of their hard work that has helped to get this event ready and the race course ready as well.
Canoe 22 voudrait remercier Canoe-Kayak Canada pour leur partenariat et soutien durant ces championnats du monde ici au lac Banook. Et un remerciement spécial à la division de l'Atlantique de CKC pour leurs efforts et leur soutien durant la préparation du site et du parcours. So we did get confirmation of those results. Sweden from Mexico and Argentina moving on to the A final in the women's K2 200 meters. So we have a short break here before we get to the women's K1 500 meters. That first of 3 semifinals will take place at 12:15. So we will be back to call those races in about 10 minutes for you. So see you in a minute. Just an announcement, if you have a car on Rixdale, if you could please move your car, otherwise they will be towed. If you have a car on Rixdale, those cars will be towed because they are blocking traffic, so please make your way and move your vehicle.
bate parado e reforma. Ele só vai contar um pouquinho, vai botar um outro. Vamos lá, agora voltou. Vai rodar umas luzes para vocês verem que está fazendo mais vídeo. E aí vai saber aí mais uma vez, tá bom? Pode rodar, pode rodar. Para pra vocês verem. Quando você me der o ok, a gente volta novamente, tá? Volta novamente para a fotografia, tá? Não gerou o retranco, não gerou o retranco. Tá conferindo, não gerou o retranco. Perfeito, perfeito. Espera aqui. Demorando, né? Nesses dias tá demorando, né? Diferente. Não era assim.
Welcome back, everyone. Coming up next, we have 3 K1 women's 500-meter semifinals. That will be followed by 2 C1 men's 500-meter semifinals. And then we're into men's K1 1,000-meter semis. After that, we will have a series of medal presentations. Those begin at 1:10, so just under an hour from now. For all of the athletes receiving medals, please make your way to the medal area 10 minutes before the start time of your ceremony. Nice shot of the crowd here around Lake Banook. Lots of people gathering to watch the races this afternoon, the medal ceremony. Over to you, TL, for the start of this first K1 women's 500-meter semifinal.
Thanks so much, Priya. Yeah, some exciting racing coming on here in the K1 Women 500 meters, the Olympic distance. So 3 semifinals. So we'll have some great advancements here. Top 3 to the final, 4 to 6 to final B as we are set to get underway. In lane 1, the 2021 Senior World Championship B finalist from the Netherlands, Ruth Vorselman. In lane 2, the 2-time Olympian with a best finish 7th in K2 500 in Tokyo, from France, Manon Hostin. In lane 3, 19th in Tokyo in K1 500 and 11th last year at the World Championship, from Spain, Isabel Contreras. In lane 4, 6th in Tokyo last year in the K1 500 and bronze medalist in the K2 500 at the 2021 World Championship, from Belgium, Hermine Peters. In lane 5, the Tokyo Olympian in K2 500 and K1 500, 3-time World Championship medalist in K2, from Slovenia, Anja Osterman. In lane 6, the defending Olympic champion in this event and 3-time Olympian who's won 5 gold medals at the Olympics, from New Zealand, Lisa Carrington. In lane 7, 2 times Olympian racing K1 500 and 200 in Tokyo and K4 500 in Rio, from Argentina, Brenda Rojas. In lane 8, the Junior World bronze medalist in K1 500 in 2017 and K2 500 in 2015, from Mexico, Beatriz Briones. And in lane 9, the semi-finalist at last year's World Championship, silver in the 2021 Asian Olympic qualifier, from Singapore, Jixian Chen. And we are about to get underway here in this first semi-final of the women's K1 500 meters, top 3 advancing to the A final, 4 to 6 heading to the B final. Underway in this first semi-final of the K1 Women's 500 meters, top 3 from Slovenia. 4 as well as lane 7, so certainly a quick, but it does look to be this women's K1 500 meters. In the lead, followed by Slovenia, Belgium, and Spain, as we are getting through the last 200 meters at this point in the top 4 position in this. Also a big fight going on here as we're continuing this race here, but it is all leading second and third as they are coming in to make their stamp and come into the A final later this week here in the K1 500 meter event. Great racing here as these athletes are crossing the finish line now and securing their berth into the A or B final, but a clear win here from Lisa Carrington from New. Nice shots here from the defending Olympic champion here as we are waiting for the result. Final of the women's K1 500 meters. We will be moving to the A final in Spain, Argentina, and Mexico.
Turnkey Travel for delivering all of our travel and accommodations needs, and to Village Shops at Dartmouth Crossing for providing parking solutions.
Strong field again in the second semi-final of the women's K1 500 meters. Sweden, Rebecca Gorksdotter. In lane 2, the K4 and K2 specialist, bronze medalist in K2 200 last year at the World Championship from Poland, in 200, and member of the K4 squad over the last few years. In lane 4, the 2013 Under-20 World Champion in K1 200 and 2020 Tokyo. In lane 5, the 2-time Olympic. In lane 6, 12th in Tokyo in the K1 200 and 2018 K1 200 under 23 bronze medalist, two-time Olympian and two-time Olympic medalist. From Denmark, Emma Jorgensen, the veteran of the South African team who's been racing on the international circuit since 24-year-old semi-finalist at the 2019 under 23 World Championship. So again, lane 1, Sweden, lane 2, Poland, lane 3, Great Britain, lane 4, Canada, lane 5, Australia. We have a start in the second semi-final of the K1 women's 500 meters, top 3 advancing to the A final. From the middle field, Elisa Bull, as we saw yesterday, well, Canada being strong and in the mix here in the early stages of it is at this stage. China is Michelle Russell as she's approaching the last 200 meters here, trying to get to the top 3 to move on to the A final. But close race here from approaching the last 100. There are 4 final and Poland. Emma Jorgensen moving late here, trying to come back onto the field and getting a 3rd place position to move on. Michelle Russell also making a move here late in the late stages of this semi-final here in the 500. Here in this second semi-final of the women's K1 500 meters and great start here of all the athletes making their way down the lake all the way down to the finish line. At the 200-meter mark here, Elisa Bull just a slight lead over China and Poland, and Emma Jorgensen coming back in the last 200 meters here, moving strong.
2 exciting semifinals here. We do have 1.
A minute here as we are set to get underway for the 3rd semi-final of the women's K1 500 meters. Bull from Australia, Denmark's Emma Jorgensen, and China's Mengdi Yin advancing 500 meters. In lane 2, the semi-finalists earlier in Poznan and Rachice in this event from Finland, Netta Melinen. In lane 3, 10th place at last year's World Championship from Croatia, Anna Maria Gorsinovic. In lane 4, 18th in Tokyo in the K1 500 and 5th in K4 500 from Germany, Jules Hake, 500 World Champion from Hungary, Esther Rendesi. In lane 6, 9th last year, the K4 200 bronze medalist in 2009 here, and T finalist earlier in Rachice from Italy, Irene Burgo, and in lane 9. So lane 2, Finland, lane 3, Croatia, lane 4, Germany, lane 5, Hungary, lane 6, the Czech Republic, lane 7, Portugal, advancing to the A final. So really close racing here. We're seeing Hungary and Germany starting to move here on the field and reeling back Croatia's Anna Maria Gorsinovic a little bit in the second half of this race. Lots to do here for these other women that are trying to contend for a top spot to earn their way into the A final. But pushing hard here as they're trying to reel in the field and secure one of those top 3 spots that will earn them a berth into the A final. Push here from Teresa Portela, continuing to push onto the field here, but Germany and Hungary still in the lead. Croatia still holding on strong here in the last few blows 4th, and then the Czech Republic in 5th place. Okay. One 500, completing 3 strong semi-final sets in the this event again, the Olympic distance. The first time we are racing this out of the Olympic cycle, so it should be really exciting as we take a few steps forward towards Paris.
Yeah, certainly giving us a preview of what's to come in the upcoming. We're sure to have an exciting final A and B coming up. We're excited to start handing out some more medals, just out their support. They are East Coast Credit Union and Bell Media. And coming up next.
Yeah, some surprises yesterday in that. So should be quite exciting here to watch them in action in the semifinal. But we do get confirmation of the third semifinal results. So Germany, Hungary, and Croatia advancing to the A final. Portugal, so we're about 4 minutes away from the start of the first of two semifinals in the C1 men 500 meters World Championship 500. And this first semifinal will have and in lane one, the athlete from Tunisia, Galin, the 21-year-old semi-finalist in this event last year at the World Championship. From Spain, Manuel Fontan, Daniel Ferez. In lane 4, making his first appearance at the Senior World Championship, 4th place finish in Andrew Billard. In lane 5, the Rio 2016 C1000 finalist and 2-time World Championship medalist in this event, including bronze in 2021 from Italy, Carlo Tacchini. In lane 5, the 2-time Olympian and world record holder in this event and 2-time world champion from Czech Republic, Martin Fuchsa. In lane 7, the finalist back in this event in 2019 and Poznan earlier this year from the United States, Ian Ross. And in lane 9, the 2021 under-23 world champion in C1000 and bronze medalist in C2 500 from Madrid. Again, top 3 advancing directly to the A final. 4 to 7 will be moving on to the B final. Great start from lane 2 here. Manuel Fontan. Martin Fuchsa having a great start here as well. He had a great showdown yesterday with Carlo Tacchini as well. Carlo Tacchini taking the best of him in that one. But great racing so far by the athletes as we're approaching 200 meters in. But great racing so far from Spain, Canada, Hungary in the mix as well, Italy and the Czech Republic. And Canada's Andrew Billard in 4th place at the moment. Hold on here, the surge from Andrew Billard in 3rd place, but Hungary's Daniel Ferez is also making a move now to earn the top 3 to move on to the A final. But such a race between Martin Fuchsa and Carlo Tacchini here as they're entering the last 100 meter of this race. And still Spain and Hungary are fighting it out for 4th place as it stands. Also in lane 9, Adam coming in strong as he's reeling in the athlete from Spain and moving on to the A final. Late surge here to take on that C1 men 500 semifinal, overtaking Carlo Tacchini and Moritz Adam from Germany coming in 3rd. Great shot of the start here, as you can see what the athletes actually see when they're getting ready to go and stare down the lake at view before. So great to see, but nice shot here of Andrew Billard again, newcomer.
Coming in at the end there. What a great last 15 meters he had.
Yeah, certainly flying a little bit under the radar from the outside. You can see that does play to your advantage from time to time, but what a great race. I mean, he is a world champion. He knows what he's doing out there, and certainly great reps.
C1 500 meter final and just final confirmation there in Hungary and Canada and the US moving on to the B final, who are our supporting sponsors here at the 2022 World Championships at Lake Banook.
And just about to get underway here in the second, Estonia and Slovakia will contest those top 3 positions to earn a berth into the A final. Last year, 9th in this event in 2019 from Chinese Taipei, Quan Lei. In lane 2. In lane 4, 12th at the 2021 Under-23 World Championship and silver medalist in C1000, Angel Kodinov. In lane 6, the 2021 silver medalist in C. In lane 7, 6th last year, the under-23 world champion finalist in the C1000 last year at the World Championship from Slovakia, Matej Rusnak. So again, Chinese Taipei in 2, China in 3, Latvia in 4, Bulgaria in 5, Poland in 6, Mexico in 7, Estonia in 8, and Slovakia in 9 as we get underway in the second. And we have a start in the C1 men 500 meters second semifinal. Strong start from the Polish athlete here. A final, 4th to 7th, and one best time moving to the B final. The first 200 meters, it does look like the Polish athlete is still maintaining a bit of a lead over taking this one here. The second, between Poland and Chinese Taipei to earn this last spot into the A final. But winner here in the second semifinal, Angel Kodinov in the from.
Morning program. So the top 3 men in each of these next K1 1,000 meter semifinals will compete to be the best in the world. Those races will be followed by a series of medal presentations. Just getting a close. Those final moments.
Continuing to stay in the race and ensuring that still in the mix there, because we saw the Polish athlete just slow down a little bit in the last few strokes. So that all out here between Angel Kodinov and Peng Fei Zhang from China advancing to the A final.
With Nova Scotia, great to see this crowd here, and we can hear them a lot too. I think that athletes are certainly benefiting from all the energy they have around them from everyone cheering them on.
So certainly a little bit of a rush of adrenaline for people on the water, able to push that extra little bit harder and make a surge for those medals as we're going through.
So great to hear that response from the athletes.
Is there a race? What's that? Is there a race? 1.5 kilometers away from me.
Just before we get started here with these K1 men's one pilot of that drone, Transport Canada will be taking it down, so please land your drone around the event. That drone is unauthorized for this event, so please land that so this event can continue. Thank you very much. All right, so just about to get ready here in the first of 3 men's K1 1,000 meter semifinals at the Portugal, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and South Africa. In lane 1, the Tokyo 2020 Olympian in K2000, representing the Ridge Canoe-Kayak Club from Canada, Brian Malfazy. 2021 Under-23 World Championships B finalist from the United 1000 World Champion and 2018 Under-23 K1000 World Champion from Sweden, medalist in K2000 and double World Champion, back-to-back Junior World Champion in K1000 in 2016. K1000 and winner in Poznan and Richice earlier this year from Portugal, Fernando Pimenta, and Artur Peters. Approaching 250 meters left to go. It is Pimenta here from Artur Peters, and then Jacob Schaaf coming in and very strong. So expecting a bit of a battle here, as you can see Pimenta out by about a boat, but then seeing those two. Entering the line, just falling off short a little bit here off the. Brady Poulsen and Sweden Martin Natal coming in 4th and 5th here, contending in the B final. But a great win from Fernando Pimenta for him today.
Yeah, just impressive to be able to do that quick recovery and get refocused and get back out there and perform that way.
It certainly sets up 3 strong athletes moving on to the A final already. So we'll have 2 more semi-finally close final later this week for us all to enjoy.
Absolutely, and we would like to.
So we talked about this earlier as the field is so deep, the A final being so difficult to reach. We've got world champions coming 4th and 5th here, and it just makes it really, really challenging to be at the top, especially in this event. The men's K1000 is one of the deepest and then one of the toughest to the top level throughout the last kind of 2 quads, and looking to
serving some of that energy for the finals, which are going to be very challenging given the competition we've seen in these early races here.
Yeah, so certainly that will happen, but it's great to see the favorites moving through, and that sets up a great final coming on. Canada's Brian Malfazy coming 7th, just missing out on the B final here in the men's K1000.
Beautiful shot here, taking us up the lake back to that 1,000-meter start line for the second.
Lithuania, Great Britain, Italy, and the ICF contending for.
We're really getting an idea of how long 1,000 meters is here with this long shot here.
But yes, just making our way here to the start line of the 1,000-meter for the second semi. 1,000.
Gorgeous.
Again in lane 1, Belize. Lane 4, China. Lane 5, Australia. Lane 6, Lithuania. Lane 7, and then we will get underway here in the second semi-final of the K1 men's 1,000 meters. Spain here, Francisco Cabellos, the 2020 Tokyo Olympian and 2019 and 2018 K2000 silver medalist. So lots of experience racing in the 1,000. So Spain out early. Also going strong is Australia's Thomas Green of experience, also world champion at the under 23 level. So expect him to be contending for one of the. Make a push to jump into the A final, but right now it is all Thomas Green from Australia, and then 4 boats neck and neck after 250 meters. Great Britain, Lithuania, China, and the athlete from Spain as well. So strong start here from 5 of these athletes competing for 3 spots. Australia's Thomas Green currently in the lead with Great Britain. Daniel Johnson making a move here and coming in second at this stage. China, 3 boats cleared so far. Still a long way to go as we're only halfway, and we did see some late moves coming from a number of the athletes in the first semi-final. Of a move from Slovenia, Jost Zakrascek from lane 2 as he's trying to contend here and jump into the top 3 to earn a spot into the A final. And with 250 meters to go, it is still Australia's Thomas Green in the lead, China's Dong Zhang in second, and then similarly Said Fazlullah also moving, and Italy's Samuele Borgo. So should be close racing here as we're approaching. actually picking up the rate quite a bit here. I'm trying to finish really strong as we're approaching the last few strokes. Spain similarly, Francisco Cubelo's coming, but Spain coming back after such a strong start, kind of falling behind up here. Late surge from Italy, and it is so close between Spain and Italy. We'll have to wait for confirmation of those results, but late charge by Samuele Burgo. But those three athletes that have qualified from the first semi-final and to condemn the gold late. Plans here, different race plans at play in this semi-final as we're seeing athletes take different tactics and strategies in this 1,000 meters. Some electing to go out strong and try to hold on, others going strong, slowing down and coming back, while others leaving it late for a late surge. So certainly playing to the different strengths of the athletes, what you can handle mentally, but such a great push here from Samuele Burgo in the last few meters. Again, trying to make up the ground, but just coming up short. Does look like Francisco Cubelos will be holding on to third place and moving on to the A final.
That mix of strategies certainly makes this 1,000-meter race exciting and a little unpredictable, given how much can change in those last meters there. And we do have confirmation here: Australia, China, and Spain moving on to the A final. Italy, Great Britain, and Lithuania moving on to the B final. And we are going back up the lake here, back to that 1,000-meter start line. Those final 3 spots in the A final for the K1 men's 1,000-meter up for grabs in this last semi-final.
Yes, again, a very strong field here again in this third semi-final. Those are the last 3 spots for the A final. If you're trying to win the World Championships, you got to go through this race and finish top 3. So getting the job done here is really important. Again, some really strong athletes in this third semi-final. In lane 1, we'll have from Singapore. Lane 2, the Netherlands. Lane 3, Romania. Lane 4, Hungary. Lane 5, Argentina. Lane 6, the Czech Republic. Lane 7, Slovakia. Lane 8, New Zealand. And in lane 9, Puerto Rico. And this race does include the 2-time Olympian and defending Olympic champion in K1000, Hungary's Banook in lane 4. And we are underway in the third semi-final of the men's K1 1000 meter. And great start from Baloch, the defending Olympic champion in K1000 from Hungary, as he's jumping ahead here just in front of Agustin Vernis from Argentina, 8th last year in the K1000 in Tokyo. Also a great start out in lane 9, Eddie Barranco from Puerto Rico, C finalist in the 500 at the Under-23 World Championship, so we know he's got some speed here pushing out off the line. The 1,000 meter is a long race, so he'll have to manage his effort as we're going, but great start here from Hungary and Argentina. Joseph Dostal from the Czech Republic also in the mix here, and you'd expect him to be able to make a push for one of those top 3 spots. But as we saw in the Olympics last year, Baloch just taking a big lead here onto the field, likes to go out strong and drive from the front. So leading at this point by about 2 seconds over New Zealand and the Czech Republic. So James Munro having a great race so far out in lane 8 for New Zealand. And it does look like Joseph Dostal is now moving on into top 3 positions as well, the 4-time Olympic medalist and 3-time Olympian from the Czech Republic. So approaching the halfway point in this third semi-final of the K1 1000, it is still Hungary's Baloch controlling the field here by about 2 boats over Agustin Vernis from Argentina and Joseph Dostal coming in 3rd. 4th place is currently for New Zealand. James Munro still staying in the mix and really close for those B final positions as well. But Baloch just really putting down a statement here in this semi-final that he's here for gold, as he did last year at the Olympics.
Let's go now! Get it off! Go, go, go! Come on, Theo!
And with 250 meters left to go, Banook still in control here. Augustin Vernice and Joseph Dostal still fighting together here for second and third place. There is a bit of incentive to get a good position here in this A final, as it will matter which lane you are in the A final. So if you don't mind being on the outside, third is okay here. But if you want to fight for one of those middle lanes, you may want to push here a little bit more. So we're seeing the athletes making a little bit of a push. Joseph Dostal just raising his rate here as he's trying to make a move on Hungary's Banook. Has passed Argentina's Augustin Vernice here in the late stages. But entering the last 100 meters, Banook and Joseph Dostal being very close. You can see Kopash just glancing to the side here, seeing Dostal take control. May not want to challenge him if he doesn't want to spend too much energy, given that he knows he's moving into the A final. But great racing so far, but Dostal really wanted to take this race, will want to race this from the middle in the A final. So he's coming in to win this third semi-final of the men's K1 1000 and advancing to the A final. In second place, Hungary's Banook, and third place, Argentina, Augustin Vernice. But really close race here as we're coming in through. These are some of the top athletes in this field, and it will be really exciting to see them in the final. So your winner of the third semi-final, Joseph Dostal from the Czech Republic.
Yeah, and seeing all those three semifinals just back to back, they're really setting us up for a great final with those 9 athletes, the 3 top finishers in each of those 3 semifinals. We will see them again competing in the final. The B final also looking good. A lot of competition for those 4th, 5th, and 6th place spots too.
Yeah, it's certainly a tight field, and as we said, being in the top of the B final means that you're still progressing towards that A final and having a chance at the medals. But yes, I think there's 6 or 7 athletes that could go and take the gold here in any given day, so certainly will be one of those exciting events. Certainly Portugal's and then Australia and Hungary and again, the Czech Republic here, we saw all those athletes. We know Germany is going to be strong as well, and there's a number of surprises that can come. So certainly will be an exciting final when we get to the A final of the men's K1 1000 meters.
Absolutely, and yeah, that's it for the morning schedule events. It's time for our Paracanoe champions to collect their medals. Along with their medals, all top 3 finishers at these World Championships will also receive a special gift. It is a handcrafted wooden apple blossom created by Mi'kmaq artist Dusty Muse of the Bear River First Nation. So truly a testament to the importance of the Mi'kmaq community here at Lake Banook and in the province of Nova Scotia. So those medal ceremonies will start in just a couple of minutes. Right now, we would like to take a moment to recognize our sponsors who help make this event possible: Sport Canada, the province of Nova Scotia, and the Halifax Regional Municipality.
Donc avant de débuter la cérémonie des médailles, nous voulons prendre un moment pour remercier nos commanditaires, Sport Canada, la province de la Nouvelle-Écosse et la municipalité régionale d'Halifax. So we got confirmation of those results here. Joseph Dostal from the Czech Republic, from Hungary's Banook and Argentina's Augustin Vernice will be moving to the A final. Peter Gelly, James Monroe, and Albert Fleer will be moving to the B final of the men's K1 1000 meters.
The medal ceremony of the BM1 Women's 200-meter event will begin momentarily.